Okay, hi everyone. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my accepted portfolio that got me into University Plymouth. I was there like a year and a bit ago, so this is kind of like pretty late for me to be making this, but I just thought these types of videos really helped me when I was applying to schools and when I was applying for exchange. So I figured better late than never, upload it to YouTube, help some people out. So with that being said, I'm gonna get into my portfolio, but first I kind of wanted to just say that like I didn't spend 3 years there. Like I had said, I was an exchange student. So last year I did the exchange program through my art school that I'm currently attending now, which is Emily Carr University of Art and Design in Vancouver. I'm like gonna graduate next year. I took my final year part-time, but I did my exchange in my 3rd year of university, so still I had some like art school experience under my belt, some bigger projects. So if your portfolio isn't as fleshed out, or if you're applying like you're a British whatever person and you're applying in a different way, then whatever. Take my portfolio with a grain of salt, but hopefully this can help you guys out with your applications. Also, for the exchange, I'm going to be making a completely different video. This is just going to be my portfolio. Next video is going to be my whole exchange experience, and where I will be like, talking about literally everything. So, but just to get into it, I had to submit a portfolio with like 12 to 15 pieces, and then a letter of intent, which was pretty chill. It was just a couple paragraphs on like why I thought I was like worthy of studying there or whatever. But so yeah, pretty chill. Let's get into my portfolio. I made a little title page. I'm gonna pop up over here with one of my favorite paintings in it. Okay, so next piece was a painted snowboard that I did in partnership with CBC Arts. So this was kind of like a big project. That's why I wanted to add it into my portfolio like the beginning. Because also, I'm applying as an illustration student to the illustration program. It's really important when you're making portfolios that you tailor it to like whatever program that you're in or you're wanting to get into, because that's gonna like be the biggest, I think, factor on like if they're gonna accept it or not. If you have like a video editing, whatever, or like a sculpture thing and you're applying to like fashion or whatever, like it's not as relevant. So stay relevant to what you want to be accepted into. And for me, that was illustration. So I painted on a snowboard. It was very illustrative. And I also worked with kind of a bigger company to do this. So I thought it'd be a good kind of first project to add into here. For this portfolio, did just a PDF with the images. And because this was like a video, I put some of the images of like within the video too in there. I put the link in case they wanted to go look at it, but the focus was just on the illustration, like snowboard pretty much. So yeah, and then the next slide I showed a little bit more of like close-ups because the first image wasn't really the best. And then I also showed just like tiny little sketches and stuff. I've heard a lot about like portfolios wanting to show your work. You know, it's not just the final piece, but it's like your sketches and like the thought process of like what made you do that final piece, if that makes sense. They love sketchbook work, and they love showing your work and whatnot. It's like a math problem in school when they're like you get extra points for showing your work for the equation. It's the same thing in art, I find. So next slide, again following this whole theme, it was the second kind of CBC Arts video that I did with them, and I painted on my garage door. So I added that because it's a big painting. It shows like different types of scale within my artwork, because this is so much bigger than anything I have in my portfolio. So yeah, and I was pretty happy with how it turned out. And again, it was a big project with a big company, but like I said, I had already had like 3 years of art school kind of under my belt. If you're like super fresh and super new into like this whole arts university world or whatever, studying, it doesn't matter. Just put your best work, put what you're confident with showing people and what you think shows your like, you know, different skills and abilities and whatnot. Totally chill. You don't need to be a professional artist. You're gonna go to art school to like learn how to do art anyways. Okay, next piece, again, just kind of like the rough sketches of like what led me to that final image, and then a close-up. So next piece was a kind of, this was funny. This was like a mural battle that I did in Vancouver that I got like invited to, which was like super random, but I just thought it would be like fun to add to my portfolio because again, it showed kind of like bigger scale work and I just liked the way it looked. So yeah, I don't know, not much to that one. The next one, you guys can actually kind of see it here, hanging up on my wall, but I'm gonna put a better photo of it here. It's one of an illustration thing that I did in class at Emily Carr, and I think that was kind of like cool to add just because it's like, I'm an illustration student already, so yeah, accept me into your illustration program, please, because here's my illustration project. And it was a National Rim Park project, whatever, because we did national parks, I don't know, yeah, whatever. So I'm like, okay, it's pretty and cute, and again, showing different mediums, like I've done a lot of like paintings and whatnot, so acrylic paint and spray paint, whatever, different mediums, great, cool. Next, these are a series of 3 paintings I did. Okay, I actually have them with me because, oh, I sold the crab one. This, the cedar, what the fuck? Oh my god, I'm really having a stroke. What is this animal called? Seahorse. The seahorse, I don't know if you guys can probably see this because the glare of the light is kind of crappy right now, but whatever. And then I have this little dude. I like this guy the best. It's hanging in my room. So yeah, I added that because they're oil paintings and it's a different medium, so why not, right? And they're kind of illustrative as well. So the next one is another oil painting that I did. It was a commission, so I wanted to add like, hey, I've been doing some commission work as well. And then I also showed the thought process, or like not the thought process, but kind of like my artistic process of this. So my sketch, how I planned the colors out digitally, and then how that changed from like the original or final painting. Next, I have a printmaking project. This one was really fun. So this again shows a lot of different mediums and stuff, but it's still along the lines of illustration. So I did it digitally and then I screen printed them on paper and fabric. And I actually have one of the hoodies. It's not in the portfolio, but I just wanted to show you guys anyways. A hoodie that I printed in this series that I wear all the time. So yeah. That was fun. It's, I think, cool to show that, like, if this is something you do, whatever, to put your illustrations onto things and to have, like, wearable interactive art. That was always something I was interested in, so I definitely wanted to add that to my portfolio. Because, yeah, it's not just drawings and paintings. But, again, if you just have drawings and paintings, that's fine if you're applying to drawing and painting and illustration. It's chill. Okay, next slide. Another printmaking project because I've done a lot of printmaking in the past for school, and this is a lino print, so I showed the sketch and then the carving, and then it on like a final product that I also took a photo of. So it shows a lot of different skills in this, I think, as well. Okay, the next one, again along the lines of printmaking. This is an etching print on Stonehenge paper. I just think that this is cool because it's like a little bit of a different kind of theme, and it shows my illustration practice and work as well. So the next one, like, I don't love how this project turned out, but it was an illustration for one of my senior illustration classes, so I was like, okay, might as well add it. I have a whole bunch of planning for it, as well as the final image and how different that turned out too. So the next one I think is pretty important in this portfolio because recently, or up until this point, it's mostly like final works, but then this one is a whole bunch of the figure drawing that I had done. I think that's pretty important to add just to show that you're drawing from life as well. Art schools love that. They eat it up. Like if you show that you draw from life, they're just accept, accept, accept. I don't know what it is. All of these were from different sketchbooks, so I just took a photo of them individually, collaged them together to fit into one of the slides. It's kind of messily done, but like, seemed to work, so whatever. Okay, this next one I actually have with me. It's so jank, it's so ugly, but I don't care because I took a bookmaking class. Oh, it's kind of cute. You know what? Yeah, she's cute or whatever. Took a bookmaking class at school and we learned a lot about, yeah, does that even work? Not really. Can you even see? Okay, yeah, so it's like a book with like whatever. I went on a Tofino trip, so I wanted to make something based off of my Tofino adventure, and I wanted to add this in because there's a lot of illustrative aspects of it, like all the drawings and stuff, but it's also a 3D sculptural thing as well, so I thought it would be kind of fun to add because it's different and it diversifies the portfolio and it just shows your skill as an artist and how you can, you know, do a whole bunch of different things other than just the same thing over and over again. Okay, along that line, here's another completely different vibe. I'm gonna just show you guys very quickly. Here's a walk cycle I did in animation in like my second year, I think it was second year, or maybe it was first year, I don't know, it feels like a lifetime ago. This was like the last animation thing I've ever done. I probably will never do animation again just because that took like a month or a month and a bit to do, and it literally was like a 4-second walk cycle. But it's still impressive, and I still drew, you know, all of the pieces of the character and the background, which shows illustration skills and whatnot. Yeah, and then the next slide I showed more of like the background of it. And yeah, so that's actually my whole portfolio. So I actually had 13 pieces in my portfolio. I feel like that's a pretty good number. Like it's not too long, it's not too short. But yeah, so like my tips on portfolios again are just to kind of diversify what you're doing, make sure that you are showing your work, you're showing that you work in multiple different mediums. They really love that, just to see a diverse artist, that you have room for improvement and growth as well. Like you're showing kind of your like sketches and kind of like messy thought process behind your work, and then like the finished stuff as well. I think that's both equally as interesting to see. And yeah, like I said as well at the beginning, really do your research on what school you're applying to and what they want. I tried to look at like Plymouth. I found like a whole bunch of artists that were part of the illustration program in their school, and I just kind of looked at like what they were doing. You can also look at their school's website, and again, like yeah, like the other students that are there, the students that have graduated, the professors, there's always lists of professors, you can look up what they do. Don't copy them, obviously, but just to see, you know, if you're the right vibe for the school or not. What I found for Plymouth is like they were super, like when I got there, they were like super into children's book illustration and stuff, which I kind of didn't really have, but I don't think that was like a determining factor or whatever. So yeah, just do your research on what they're kind of looking for and try to tailor your portfolio to that, but just show yourself and your work as an artist and keep your fingers crossed, hope for the best. But yeah, I think that everything will be okay, and I'm manifesting for you guys to get into your desired schools. So if you have any comments or questions or anything, please comment and leave them down below, because I will be doing my very best to try to respond and try to give my advice the best that I can. I'm not like an expert or anything, but I genuinely like always found that these types of videos helped me when I was applying to art school, and I kind of just want to like help people out. So yeah, again, questions, comment them down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys, and I'm literally just about to film the whole exchange experience, so please go watch that video. Okay, bye everyone.